Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk back. And this is my Reusable Space Program, Season 3, Episode 5. And we are back with Space Truck 7 as we are taking these empty tanks to Minmus, where we will get them filled. Because that's what you do. You go and take your empty fuel tanks to a place where you can fill them up. And that's kind of the goal, is we have infrastructure. And we are continuing to build up infrastructure because now these fuel tanks are meant to be the fuel depot for the space truck stop. And I think I'm going to have to get some more tanks because I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have a revolving tanker to constantly fill, because in my mind I was going to set up 3 tanks there and they would sustain the space trucks for, a good amount of time, and they will, but not nearly as much as I guess I had hoped. And I'm also realizing that 8 space trucks might not be enough, because I already have 2 that are kind of indisposed, waiting to go on other missions. Space Truck 1 isn't on a mission, but it's at Duna waiting for a transfer window back. Space Truck 2 is waiting for a transfer window to Duna. Meanwhile, Space Truck 7 is on its way to Minmus. We are finishing the burn, and it's a long burn, and I don't know why I stuck with the burn so long. But Derry and John Rick are on their way, and that's kind of how I probably was going to cut part of this out and then get on with the rest of the mission, and I must have forgotten. And here we are. This is Space Truck 8 getting ready, and there's a little bit of a wobble. Okay, so every time I stop time warp, I'm getting this oscillation, which is weird because I tested this and I didn't get it. Okay, if you see, I'm not pausing it, I'm starting time warp, which kind of... Okay, I've tried turning off the RCS, the SAS. That's bad. Oh. There. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where this wobble is coming from, because I didn't have it when I launched it. Oh no. Okay. I don't know what's causing this oscillation. How can I stop it? Oh no. Oh no. Well, the oscillation stopped. Mallory and Maxis, this... I guess you're happy that the oscillation has stopped, but we're gonna have to, land you and repair you. Which means I might have to launch a replacement space truck until I can get this one fixed. Alright. In the meantime, Space Truck 7 has made it to Minmus and is coming up here really close to the station. Hopefully not hitting any solar panels. I gotta be careful coming up on my rendezvous. If I'm not, I'm gonna end up like smacking into a station or another ship or some sort of booster. And now it's just a matter of docking. I need to go into the RCS thrusters and turn off the directions I don't want them to fire on. I really need to do that for all my ships. Alright, we're really close, but we need to just get aligned for docking. There's a little bit of liquid fuel in there. And the other thing we have to realize is there is no point where everything can be full. It's always going to be a little bit of... It takes fuel to deliver the fuel. Now, this will be a net gain. Just like it takes fuel, even if once we make the fuel, the mining ship is going to land on Minmus, make fuel, and then it's going to come back up, and it's going to have used fuel to get there. There will be no point where every ship is full. And that's just the way it is. Making sure I got my target set there. So this is footage I thought I'd sped up. I need to not edit so early in the morning. Because I think I see like 2 or 3 times when I meant to do something and I probably said, I'm going to do this here in a minute. And I didn't do it. And then I looked at the time like, oh, wow, we've used up all our time. So this is a look into what real time in this game kind of looks like. I know there was a split cut earlier, but I got the docking aligned and go into cinematic mode to give you a nice real-time shot, which has been real-time the whole time. And there we are. So the next step is to go down and take the mining ship and land on Minmus and fill up the tanks. And this part I did get the footage sped up to 4 times. And I found the best thing to do is like step down my orbit to about 20,000. Looking for, just get the surface info until I can find a nice flat spot Ooh, it's a little bit lower. That's okay. And here's a nice flat spot. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Let's try that again. Min-miss is, there's so little gravity, sometimes I have sometimes pointed down and thrusted down. I just want to make sure I come actually onto the flat part and not, there's a little bit of a, I don't know what you would call that, like an outcropping right before the really flat part. And it's really easy when you're landing on min-miss, it's really easy to slow down too much. And think about how slow it looks I'm going now, and just know that this is 4 times sped up. And my min-miss miners have not had good luck. This is actually the 3rd one. Alright. And then once we land, it is days to actually fill up. And I mean days. We will time excel heavily. Let's see. Yep, we got our monopropellant filled. We are at 30 days. We are coming up on 122 days. I need to fix that in the action group. I'm still not sure why. I probably selected on the wrong thing. Instead of toggle solar panels, it's onto something else. So I rotate the craft at the usual orientation and launch, trying to circularize. It's also really easy on min-miss to accidentally just, if I'm not paying attention, to get an escape trajectory. As min-miss's gravity is so small. And I kind of have the same thing on Ike, and once I get to Eve, it'll be even more so on Gilly. But Gilly will be a really good mining station because the gravity's so low. It'll be decently easy to land. It'll just take a long time. But it won't take as much fuel, so it'll be a net gain, not game. All right, we have our encounter. I'm just going to thrust a little bit toward. Woo! Forgot this footage is sped up 4 times, so it looks like I'm coming in faster than I really am. Look for an open docking port. It'd be really convenient if there was still a docking port on the end. I need to see, I don't know if the regular docking port is too big to fit in a cargo container. If it is not, I could bring an engineer here and reattach one. I don't know why I didn't think about that till now. There are ways to do some minimal orbital construction in Kerbal Space Program. If you have an engineer and the part in a cargo bay. There we are. And now, anyway, if part in a cargo bay, and you can actually do some minimal orbital constructing. But what I'm doing now is just transferring fuel. Step 1 is to transfer into the top tanks, so the miner has... The top tanks are basically where the miner stores its fuel for its missions. And now I'm converting all the ore to monoprop. Because the next mission coming to Minmus is going to bring a big monopropellant tank. And now it just go through and fill up these 2 liquid tanks, which is done. And now Space Truck 7 can take its load and return to the truck stop. Just look. Oh, it has so much Delta V right now, even though I don't really want to use any of that. Although it is going to take Delta V to get back, because I got to get back into Kerbin's sphere of influence and then rendezvous with the station. And you're always on a inclined orbit when you're coming back from Minmus, because Minmus is on an incline. If you move if you're not getting a good periapsis, go ahead and move your maneuver node around in the orbit to where you're getting the best periapsis, and then adjust. And don't forget to adjust your inclination, because it's cheaper if you do it now. That's good. I usually like to come into about a 400 kilometer orbit, and then if I'm going to the truck stop, 400 kilometers is a good orbit to do the home and transfer from there. If not, if I'm going to like Enterprise Station, 400 kilometers is still a good starting point, because it's better to step down your orbit when you do the capture. Because your apoapsis will be so high that doing it all in one orbit may be not as efficient. So I'll sometimes step down my orbit. Same for interplanetary transfers. So we will get a Kerbal encounter and capture orbit, and we'll probably do that in the next episode. So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I appreciate, I saw that we got a few more subscribers from from the first episode of Season 3. So keep liking and subscribing, and we're going to keep building this space station and move on with other things I have to do this season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.